Hello, I'm FX Toycat, and this is a seed where you spawn on top of a pillager outpost. This is a seed where a shipwreck is perfectly intact and floating on the ocean, and this is a seed where a woodland mansion spawns in a cave. I think it goes without saying, but Minecraft seeds, especially on the Bedrock version, are especially broken right now, but to truly exemplify that, let me show you this seed right here, and spoiler alert, what you're going to see later in this video is a shipwreck literally in the side of a woodland mansion. Anyway, hello, I'm FX Toycat, welcome back to Seed Sunday. This is the weekly series where I show you seeds for Minecraft on basically any version that are particularly interesting and worth checking out in some way. Indeed, it is Seed Sunday. And yeah, today I wanted to show you a seed that just kind of exemplifies this attitude of everything is broken in so many places, and that is the new normal. I don't think it's even necessarily bad. I think it makes for more interesting Minecraft experiences, and let me prove to you of this seed, I don't even have the woodland mansion and the shipwreck yet. You have to travel a few hundred blocks that way for it, but literally at the spawn, you can already see that things are very different than the Minecraft you've known and been used to, because now caves and cliffs can generate as part of pretty much any biome. Every biome is now, instead of being split into a ton of sub-biomes, exists as one category that can have lots of weird things within it, and those weird things can be things as simple as, oh, here are some hills, but it also gets much more complex than that. But let's show you from the top of this mountain, because even as we go above Y100 in one of the flattest biomes in Minecraft, the plains, literally known for being the place that is perfect for a flatland, it is funny that as you go up and up this very flat biome, you start to realize it's not very flat at all. You can still get flat variants of it, as you can see over there is flatter than it's ever been, literally on the same level as the water, but over here it is one of the hilliest biomes in Minecraft, and it's not just that every biome can be a part of the new cliffs now, that is a part of caves and cliffs, every biome can get very cliffy, but also as you can imagine, every biome can also get very cavey in some very weird ways. If I show you two examples that we can see right here, alongside some sunflowers, there is this first cave over here, which is about what you'd expect from a cave inside of Minecraft now. It's really cool because it's an opening to a cave that you can immediately explore as soon as you launch your world. I think this makes mining more accessible and is generally a good thing. But then if we head to the edge of this island, you'll see one of the more broken variants of this, because as you can see, this is technically a plains biome that happens to be combined with a cave. Full on speaking, as long as you're up here, you are in a plains biome. It's just the plains biome goes in and out at very weird intervals. It looks very messed up, as you can see in survival already, but if I quickly hop into creative, it'll look even worse, because as you can see, there are huge grooves in between the little chunks of this plains biome. It's actually a really cool premise for a biome. What if a biome was destroyed by the undergrowth in some way? What if this could be a real huge thing? But instead, this is more just a bug of the world is generating with little chunks of plains biome that are perfectly intact, kind of mixed up with other things. Again, whether that's a bug or intentional behavior, you can debate about for a really long time, but it looks broken on the surface is my point, and it is very interesting, you know, to at least imagine going through, but this is just now what is normal in Minecraft. Minecraft 1.18 entirely changed the seed generation engine, and a lot of those ways were to add the amazing new mountain vistas and the amazing new cliffs, but some of those ways have altered forever what we need to see as normal in Minecraft. And what better way to prove that than by jumping in a boat heading in the negative direction and showing you exactly what you find over here, because as you can see, by the way, at all times, Minecraft Bedrock, there is coordinates in the top left. You can use these if you want to follow exactly where we're at. This is a savanna biome that previously would have only been found on the Java edition, except because we're on Bedrock, things are amplified to another level of extreme, and let me show you what I mean by that. This is not just a tall savanna mountain, this is a tall savanna mountain with several disconnected islands from the mainland that goes all the way up, not just to 128 like you could have been used to before, but all the way up to 219 blocks, as we can see. It's insane, the sort of terrain that is naturally generating up here, but then also on top of that, even though this is a savanna biome, that's why it's generating so high, you can see how half the trees up here are savanna, and the other half are swamp. Actually, wait, four of the 5 are swamp trees, and only 1 is savanna. So this is actually an incredibly tall swamp biome, despite swamp being, and still to this day, it's the new flat biome. It is rare to find a swamp that goes more than 10 blocks up, and as you can see right here, this is the swamp proving its worth with that one. It is very, very, very flat, except where it tries to blend into the savanna biome. I think biome blending is something that maybe doesn't work perfectly how you'd imagine. I mean, this water is falling off a savanna biome, but because it's technically in a swamp, it is swamp colored and therefore incredibly ugly and next to impossible to see through. But yeah, you can see how there is all sorts of weird weird things happening over here, including these islands right over here, just in front of the Woodland Mansion, which as you can see are technically inside of a roof forest, and so you can find some very, very tall dark oak trees. I mean, is it really a roof forest if the roof is all the way up here? Apparently, yes. And so, yeah, if you want some of Minecraft's tallest generation, come over here. But my point of this seed is not to show you tool generation, it's to show you this Woodland Mansion right over here. As you can see, this is a Woodland Mansion, Minecraft's largest structure, or at least it was until the Bastion came around. I bet by cubic volume it still is the biggest. But I think in at least one or two of the dimensions, it's been beaten now. And so this is a Woodland Mansion. Let's talk about what's wrong with this Woodland Mansion. And no, we're not going to mention that yet. But let's talk about what's wrong with this Woodland Mansion. First of all, it generates at the very, very edge of a roof forest, and so mostly generates over the water. This means that it has to use the kind of terrain building blocks to make sure that it's not floating. And so there's a lot of cobblestone that is like it's in there as a backup plan, but it's not really fully ideal. And then also it means that although the entrance is right here, which would have been on flat terrain, the entrance to the left has to go down so many stairs just to give you access from what is apparently just water. So very strange things happening already here. But let's go inside the Woodland Mansion and let's tell you even more things about this that are strange. First of all, there's some random birch planks just chilling here in the hallway, in the ceiling. I actually don't know what these ones are doing here. Is it part of this room over here? Maybe? No, is it part of what's happening up here? Maybe? I don't actually know why that's necessary. Oh, I know why it's necessary. It's the shipwreck. Okay, well that actually does make perfect sense, doesn't it? The melon farm has been destroyed by this zealous sailor. But let me show you what happens when we go to the top floor here. So as you come to the top floor of this thing, you'll notice just to your right that there is a lovely window where you can watch the sunset. And then you'll notice that there is also, funnily enough, a shipwreck chilling right over there. This shipwreck is so funnily placed, by the way, that you can enter it from the top floor, and then you can kind of climb down from this, and then you can re-enter on the second floor, which is very nice. As you can see, this looks like we're actually inside the mansion right now, but actually that was just glass we had to smash to get from one part of the shipwreck to another. Very, very weird, very, very zany. Shows kind of the weird flaws in how Minecraft generation works right now, in my opinion. But try not to let that fact distract you from this. This is a shipwreck. It is a structure that is meant to be at the bottom of Minecraft's oceans, a kind of remnant of foregone people who have sunk all their ships and no longer exist. Except this isn't a damaged ship in any way. It is a ship that is generated fully intact, which is a somewhat rare thing. But then even weirder is the fact that the ship chose to generate right here in the middle of the mansion. The only thing I can think that happened here is it decided there were air blocks ready for it to generate, or they decided it was the correct place to generate, but then because the terrain was up here, it had to generate in the side of that, and so, you know, the same physics that can lead to shipwrecks generating on islands like this, and so the exact same procedure was followed right here, and it destroyed some of the blocks in the land, except the land was, of course, not just any land, it was part of a woodland mansion, of course, and so as a result, you have a staircase that is entirely unusable because there is a boat here where there really should not be. I cannot get over how ridiculous this is as a premise. Just it's the worst bit about this, in my opinion, has to be the fact that it just doesn't have a use. I mean, sure, you can come in here and you can grab your wheat, your gunpowder, and your poisonous potatoes. Sure, you can go back here and you can get a treasure map, which is a novel experience when you're in a woodland mansion, but overall, the mere existence of this isn't very useful to the player. It's just one of those fun things, and I think that there's two ways of looking at this. Either you could say Minecraft's code is broken and they need to fix this right now, but I think we should instead say, no, actually, like with the new caves and cliffs, this is the new normal. Sure, they might come around to fixing either the Woodland Mansion code or the Shipwreck code in the near future, but ultimately, why do they even need to? As far as bugs that need fixing, this isn't very high up on the list, and in fact, I would argue this is a bug that adds significantly to Minecraft. I mean, look at this thing. Imagine the stories that lead to someone crashing their very much seaborne ship into the side of a mansion. How did they not see the mansion there is my first question. How did they launch it off the ground so high must have been an extreme storm or something. I mean, there's so many questions that this raises, and ultimately it doesn't really affect your gameplay in a negative way. It's not like your Woodland Mansion experience is ruined by this. I would argue it's enhanced because now your Woodland Mansion is a special breed of unique. I would argue that it doesn't make Minecraft look bad because you can explain it by lore, and so the only real explanation of why this is terrible is because you shouldn't have two structures together. It's too OP to have access to totems of undying, but also buried treasure maps. But here's the thing, OP seeds are always going to exist in Minecraft. In fact, I showed one off just a few short weeks ago, an amazing seed that you can find just by that you can just type in and get a ton of diamonds. And given that that can exist, it makes me question, like, is there really a problem with something like this? And the conclusion I come to is basically no. Minecraft generation being broken is one of those ongoing truths that has always been there ever since the game first came out, and as long as they get it right 99 or 99.9% of the time, I think it actually adds to the game by being broken that other 0.1%. I think that it means you can load up a seed that you found from a video like this one, because this is a, did you know this is Seed Sunday, the weekly series where I show you seeds. You type in those digits, and now you have a more interesting Minecraft experience you otherwise wouldn't be able to get. Games that have procedural generation, games that generate, randomly or based on a seed input, are really fun when the weird things happen, because sure, sometimes that's going to happen to someone who wants a perfect Minecraft experience, but ultimately I think most people would argue that this is going to be an addition to the game, and so just like with those weird caves, just like with everything else, as long as it isn't too common, as long as it's not ruining the average player's experience, and my god, do bugs like that exist, I think that it's the sort of thing we can look at and say, actually, that's pretty harmless. It's very funny, and so maybe this is the new normal now. Maybe it takes them a long time to fix Woodland Mansions appearing in all sorts of biomes they shouldn't. Maybe it takes them a while to fix, shipwrecks being fully formed and in places they really shouldn't be. I had one spawn in the sky on my first ever day of 1.18, and maybe that's ultimately not a bad thing. I think there's a deeper philosophical debate in here about, like, when is something broken not broken? And when people enjoy that thing that's broken, like we do with artists who have extreme mental disorders, like we do with, to a lesser degree, like people, musicians and YouTubers and all these different things. When is something not broken? When it doesn't affect things. It's not, a lot of people debate, when does, like, a compulsion become an addiction? When does something you enjoy become an addiction? And I think the easiest line in the sand to draw for me on that one has always been when it is negatively affecting the rest of your life in a way that you can't control or that you don't want to control, but is like in a dangerous place. I think when you as the person say that there is a dangerous impact on the rest of your life, that's when there's a problem. And so Minecraft seeds aren't broken until they have a dangerous impact on the rest of Minecraft, in my opinion. Let me know what you think though in the comments down below. Obviously your opinions are just as important as mine. It's just I'm the one saying them into the microphone and you're the ones listening. But use your words to help balance that out. And I hope that you'll enjoy this video, because I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Oh, this is so cool. I like this. I don't know what you can use this for, like besides, like, I don't know, a glide tunnel. But I love this little cave that I found at the last minute here. And yeah, it's only possible because of cool new 1.18 generation, which you can play around with right now. And as a result, by the way, I think I want to say, we might go... Also, I want to say one more thing before we go, which is that Cracked Magnet found this seed alongside a lot of the other very broken Minecraft seeds. It did take us a lot of work to find these. In particular, him, I want to say. Like, Cracked Magnet, I didn't realize this, but he has a YouTube channel he's like, he's pretty proud of. And so, if you want to check out some short 60-second broken or otherwise seeds, make sure you go check out Cracked Magnet, and I'd appreciate it if you did. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed, because I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.